I'm going to talk to you guys today about why this race is so important. So I'm talking to you here, obviously, in Palmdale. We've also got the audience that's at home. Hey guys, how you doing? Number one, folks that are here in the district that are volunteering are the most important because they've got money, we've got people, and that's you guys. And so, and what they want to do for the folks that are already in power is they want to extinguish hope because hope's a dangerous thing. And this race is super, super important because if I win, then hope is alive and we figured out a method to win for all progressives. So why is that especially true here? Because the Democratic establishment, let's be honest, can't stand it, okay? And so they are saying, no, when we pick a candidate, it will be impossible to defy us. If we show here in this district that it is possible, then they'll see, that's a mythology, turns out it wasn't true. Now we got hope. So if I win, I'm gonna go campaign for every other progressive. I don't care what Pelosi says, Hoyer says, Schumer says, Jake Tapper says, I don't care. Those incumbents that are conservative are not my allies. You're my allies, okay? You're who I'm representing. And by the way, a lot of people complain that, hey, you have too many progressive supporters across the country. Guilty as charged, okay? That's right, I do. You know why? I fight for them, and now some of them are fighting for me, and including you guys, and I love you for it, okay? And thank you out there. Cenk2020.com/team. Catherine, my campaign manager, earlier went over some of the numbers. Every other campaign keeps a secret to top leadership. I'm about to tell you guys that means you're top leadership in this campaign. Okay? We are people powered. That means we trust you. So one of the things we do is, you guys just went through a barnstorm, is that we trust you to lead volunteers in canvassing. Almost no other campaign does that because they say, oh, no, leadership knows, right? Your volunteers won't be able to do it on their own. They're wrong. You can, you have, you will, okay? So we have these outlandish goals. We want to knock on about 50,000 doors overall. As Catherine explained earlier, there's about 35,000 left. Okay, a little bit more than that actually. So let's go knock on some doors. Let's meet our fellow citizens. That's what democracy looks like. So a lot of you have already volunteered and agreed to do that, so you're awesome and I love you for it. By the way, if you're a little outside the district, I don't care if you're way outside the district, okay? Yeah, Hawaii, I'm talking to you. Okay, come here. We talked about earlier how some folks are going to put people up in their houses, which is amazing, and that they're already doing that for our staff. We'll do it for volunteers. Okay, come one, come all. The fight's in the 25th. Okay, and so Cenk2020.com/team for that. Okay, because you're part of our team, and if I win, they say, well, then you're gonna owe you guys. Yes, I am. I'm gonna owe you guys. Okay, that's how it's supposed to work. On the other hand, Christy and the other folks in this race are doing fundraisers nonstop. They're going to owe other establishment politicians that gave them the endorsements. They're going to owe the donors that gave them money. And you guys are going to be the bottom of that totem pole. Totally unacceptable. Okay? We've got to end all corporate contributions to politicians. Period. Because in the real world, when a corporation gives you money, it is to buy you, because they legally cannot give it to you for charity. They cannot give it to you for your health. Okay, they must maximize profit. If they're not maximizing profit, their board will fire them. And so why are they giving to politicians in the first place? To maximize profit. And we allow this system. It's legalized bribery. Now, I make the Democratic leadership uncomfortable because I point that out. They take corporate contributions, they take lobbyist money, and they say, trust us, we're not affected by the lobbyist money. Nancy Pelosi has raised $728 million. You're not affected by $728 million. You must be, maybe the media is right about you. You're a superhero, right? But regular people get affected by hundreds of millions of dollars in bribes that they take. Bill Moyer is a legend in media, okay, one of the greats in media back when we had good media. And he has this great quote. He says, imagine if right before a batter goes to plate, he hands the umpire $10,000. Okay? Now, does anybody think that the umpire is going to call balls and strikes fairly? And even if so, even let's say the umpire is like, okay, great, I got $10,000, but I don't care about money, I'm a saint, right? There's at least an appearance of conflict of interest, right? So when ExxonMobil gives Republicans money, we all know that that's corruption. Now, the Democrats and a lot of the national media have this insane insistence that no, but when they give it to Democrats, it's not corruption. You know, all of a sudden, these insurance companies, the drug companies, etc., they're just looking out for you. No, they're looking out for their own bottom line. Do not let them buy the Democratic Party. Unfortunately, they have been doing it. That's why this election is so important. So if we win this election, we send a cannon shot saying you don't have to take corporate PAC money, you don't have to take lobbyist money, because everybody in the media, everybody in the Democratic Party says, no, you can't win unless you're corrupt. Well, if we win, that's bad news for them. That's great news for progressives. Then we'd light the country on fire in terms of hope, and I go and campaign for all the other uncorrupted candidates like the Justice Democrats, Kara Eastman in Nebraska, Morgan Harper, Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman, Alex Morse, you name it, okay? There's wonderful progressives. And I go tell their people in Massachusetts, Colorado, Texas, I say, guys, guess what? People power works. People power works. And then we get more people and more people. And then we retake what is ours. Those are two things. One is the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is not supposed to be the corporate party. The Democratic Party is supposed to be the party of the people, of the average American and the average worker. That's what it's always been. That's what FDR set up. That's what JFK and LBJ wanted. And now they say, oh, no, you progressives that are with the people. No, you're not democratic enough. Jesus, then what the hell does democratic mean? Does being a Democrat mean taking lobbyist money? Is that what you perverted it to? No, it means being for the people, whether they like it or they don't. So we can show that that's true. And that number two, they keep saying, hey, look, in a purple district, you have to be more conservative, and you have to be more pro-corporate. Okay, you have to be business friendly. That's code word for take more bribes. Okay, so if we win, we had a so-called journalist, hilarious, write an article a couple of days ago. I'll leave the publication in his name out for now. And he said, this district is not known for being a hotbed for progressives. And Christy, since she's so conservative, he left out that part, is a perfect candidate for this district. Okay, I've knocked on now hundreds of doors personally, and maybe if you count the malls, etc., I might be up in the thousands. Okay, of talking to people in this district. I've never heard one person say, God, if you were more pro-big business, I'd support you. They're like, what? You don't take lobbyist money? No, I'm out. I like politicians who take lobbyist money. That sentence has never been spoken in American history. It's all a fraud. And for independents are oftentimes not moderates who like both parties. That's the mythology. No, they dislike both parties. The reason they're unaffiliated is because they're like, I don't really like the Republicans, but you know what? The Democrats make me uncomfortable. Okay? And so I got good news for them. Neither one of them likes me. So, and by the way, when you tell an independent, it works 100% of the time. If you say to them, look, I don't take corporate money or lobbyist money. My only job is to represent you guys. And the Democratic leadership is opposed to me because I'm pointing out their corruption. They're like, where do I sign? Okay, so they don't need you to be a Republican. They don't need you to be conservative. They don't need you to be big business. They don't even need you to be moderate. None of those things are true. Now, right now, again, the national media is saying, oh, Cenk, you're crazy. Oh, no, this district loves lobbyist money, et cetera, et cetera. Well, if we win, their heads are going to explode, proverbially. Okay? And it's going to be a beautiful sight. all those journalists, so-called journalists, that wrote these things about how, no, you have to take the money, take the money, take the money. They never pointed out the corruption all this time. If I win, they're going to go, what? Cenk won in the 25th district? Oh, shit. Okay. That means there's going to be more of us. So when you're out there fighting for this victory, and you're going on knocking on doors, and you're talking to other people in the district, understand that your actions will have reverberations throughout the country. We can take our party back. The second thing we need to take back is our government. The House of Representatives is not their house, but right now it's swarming with lobbyists. If you go on any given day to the House of Representatives, which I've gone to a lot, you will see there's almost certainly more lobbyists there than actual representatives. Okay, now do you know this? Like, people have forgotten this because almost nobody ever does it. You know, anyone's allowed to go to the House of Representatives. It's your house. You can walk in any time. You can get comfortable, walk around, take a seat. Okay, in a democracy, it's your government. They keep telling you it's not, in subtle ways, like, hey, no, we're the elite, and you guys don't know what you're doing, etc., but we do. No, I'm going to open the doors, and I'm going to invite you all in. Come watch me do my job.
Can we have lunch?
What's that?
Can we have lunch if you invite us in?
Yeah. So look, I want you guys to come, and when we're debating, you know how none of the Congress people ever show up? And on C-SPAN, they span the room, and there's nobody there? No, I want you guys to come watch, okay? So if they're going to go argue for their lobbyist buddies, I'm going to go point it out, and I want you there. Oh, it's going to drive them crazy, right? Well, then I'm going to get caught. Yes, you are. So I'm going to show the money that they're taking, the Republicans are taking from donors, and then I'm going to also show the money that Democrats are taking from donors. And then things are going to get real, okay? So let's all go do it together. This is what a revolution looks like. It's not their government, it's our government. Okay? So, now, I put in the title of this, and I wanted to come back to it. What is a donor backer? Okay? So we came up with that earlier today, okay? So as we were talking about how to volunteer and win and stuff. So they say that I'm a carpetbagger because I'm 20 minutes outside the district. To be fair, in traffic it's more. Yeah, I was going to Canyon Country yesterday. That took a while. Anyway, so that's true, but I'm moving into the district after the school year, and none of Christy's donors live in the district. In fact, most of them are not real people. They're corporations. Okay, and I got news for you, and yes, media, corporations are not human beings. When you say that, you sound like an idiot. Okay, no one believes that corporations are people. No real person has ever. I've gone and done this in hundreds of rooms. Raise your hand if you think a corporation is a human being. Not one hand has ever gone up in any room, except, to be fair, in the Supreme Court, 5 people would raise their hands. Isn't that insane? Okay. So, meanwhile, I had an event earlier today that some of you were at in Lancaster, a pro-peace rally. Here we are in Palmdale having this event. I'm going to go to a comedy night for progressives in Santa Clarita tonight, okay? Come join us there too. We'll put it on Twitter later, okay? So, and where's my opponent? We hear she's in Santa Monica. Oh, I do declare. Okay. What's she doing in Santa Monica? There are no voters in Santa Monica. Now, I'm in the district nonstop. Dozens and dozens of events. We've already had dozens of events. We're going to have dozens of events more. I've probably had more events in the district than the 12 other candidates combined. Okay? So, why is she in Santa Monica? You know, right? Everybody knows.
The funnel cake.
Okay. They do have some good rides over here. Okay. No, you're going to be shocked to find out. To raise money, of course, a fundraiser. So if I'm a carpetbagger, does that make her a donor bagger?
Yep.
Yes.
When you raise money outside the district, okay, it doesn't look like you're in the district. It looks like when it matters most during an election, I'm coming into the district and you're going out of the district. right? And that tells you all you need to know. So, guys, let's, so by the way, here, let's do a fancy fundraiser in Palmdale. So if you don't know, one of the reasons that most of the politicians don't come to Antelope Valley is that the power center is in Santa Clarita, and that's where apparently they handpick politicians, okay? Raise your hand real quick if any of you were in a room where they handpicked Christy or any other politician to represent you. Okay. You said hi. You accidentally raised your hand. I love it. No, I'm kidding.
Like, what did they say?
Hi. She was saying hi. Okay. So no, we have no idea who was in that room in Santa Clarita when they handpicked Christy, right? They never asked you guys. By the way, you know when they asked you guys? In an election. That's when we ask you guys who you want to have as your representative. And remember, if I win, that's my literal job title. Representative. I represent you. You know what that makes you? My boss. Okay? I'm going to have open office hours. You don't need to bring in a check or funnel cake. Okay? Although funnel cake, not so bad. So, open office hours. You come, you talk to me because you're my boss. Okay? So, but we're going to do a fundraiser. They normally don't come to Antelope Valley because they can't do fundraisers here. That's why they're all constantly going south.
Is it illegal?
No, it's perfectly legal. They just think there's not enough wealthy people for them to bother coming here, okay? So, isn't that sick? Isn't that sick? There's actually more voters in Antelope Valley. There's way more Democrats in Antelope Valley. Way less Republicans in Antelope Valley. If you're a Democratic candidate, you should be all over the Antelope Valley. Have you guys ever seen Christy? I don't know. I've never seen her in Antelope Valley.
I didn't even know what she looked like.
When you were in LA?
It was in LA.
There you go. So that's why Antelope Valley gets ignored. But we're going to do a fundraiser anyway with the folks at home. And if you guys want, you're already volunteering, so I love you. Cenk2020.com/go. How about we do enough for a funnel cake? What do you think? Is that $3? About $3, right?
$5, just to be sure.
Yeah, 5 to be sure? Okay. So 5 to be sure. Okay. All right. Cenk2020.com/go. $5 for funnel cake. We're not going to actually use it for funnel cake. Okay. So look, think about it this way. Every dollar is a vote. Okay. It's probably not that cheap. I wish it was. But what are we trying to do? We're trying to reach voters, right? So there's two ways to reach voters. One is through paid media. So you do mailers, you do TV commercials, digital ads, etc. Now we're going to do that too because we've got money, and every dollar more means more voters that we reach. That's why donating makes a huge difference. That's what her average donation last cycle was $2,700. Okay. Almost none from actual human beings, okay? What did she have, I think she literally had only 12 human donors. Okay, now to be fair, that was when she was in the assembly. She wasn't running for Congress yet, but in the assembly, you can take money directly from corporations. So she took money from AT&T, and you're gonna be shocked to find out she voted with AT&T to keep their monopoly, okay? She took like $30,000 from the real estate interest. She voted, was it 5 times against affordable housing, including, look, rent caps, rent caps only apply to 7%, it's a compromise on top of a compromise. It unfortunately only applies to about 7% of rental apartments in California. She voted no. She said no, 7% is too much. No, and it caps it at 5% plus inflation. So in LA, they could raise your rent every year, even with this new bold progressive proposal, 8.3% every year. That's already really tough to keep up with. She thought that was too much for the real estate companies. She voted no. Okay, we were being too tough on real estate companies and not tough enough on the renters. Okay, and then she said, no, trust me, I actually don't want affordable housing. Not because they paid me not to be in favor of affordable housing. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, I don't trust you. She got money from United Health Group and is against Medicare for all. And it goes on and on and on. Do you guys know this? And so here's an important why question. Okay. there's a group called Courage California. They're a collection of 100 progressive groups, okay? So there's unions in there, lots of groups of people of color. So Color of Change is one of the greatest activist movements in the country. They got Glenn Beck fired, they got Bill O'Reilly fired. So they're an African-American group that does amazing work. There's an African-American woman group, there's an Asian group, etc. All 100 combined together, and they gave Christy a rating for how she voted. It's not her feelings, it's not ideas, it's not proposal, it's her vote. She got an F rating. An F rating. So then I'm going to ask you something. Why is the Democratic Party, and the unions too, why are they endorsing someone who got an F rating? That's weird, isn't it? So it's almost as if they say, well, as long as you're part of our game and you take the corporate PAC money and you take the lobbyist money, we don't really give a damn how you vote. Who cares? The votes affect people. That doesn't affect us. Look, I'm telling you guys right now, if I win and I don't get any of these bills passed, then I've gotten nothing done. Who cares who's called a congressman? It doesn't matter at all. The only thing that matters is the bills, because if you don't pass the bills, you don't affect people's lives. You don't change people's lives. So we're going to go, and by the way, they think it's impossible for me to win. Okay, that's hilarious, not remotely true. We've already reached so many people through all these voter contacts. I keep going, by the way. One more aside, okay? So for the folks that are volunteering, we talked about knocking on $50,000 doors. I'm sorry, $50,000 is Christy's fundraiser. But we need to call 250,000 people. Guess what? We've already called 100,000 because you guys are awesome. Okay, show them what you got. Yes, we're too strong. Let's call 250,000 people in this district, maybe even more. And if we do that, they have money, but we have money and people. Okay, so not only is it not impossible, I think we're the favorites. I think we have a great reason why we're the leading candidate in this race. Isn't that amazing to have a progressive be the leading candidate? Okay. So now they say, and they say it now, they'll say it even after I win. Yeah, you might have won, maybe Bernie won, maybe, etc. But you guys are never going to pass Medicare for All. Klobuchar said in the last debate, she said, we're not going to vote for it, so you can't pass it. Ha ha. So you shouldn't even try. All right, well, if you're not going to vote for it, maybe the person who's going to replace you will. Okay? So this isn't about venting. This isn't about feeling good. It's about getting practical results. If you, and I'm going to do it, and that's part of why the Democratic Party says, oh, please give me the F rating person. Give me the F rating person. I'll take it. That's wonderful. She goes with the lobbyist. She goes with what we tell her, okay? But if this Cenk guy comes in, I'm going to make a list. So if you vote against minimum wage, you vote against health care for everyone, yeah, we're going to put your name on a list, and then we're going to primary you. You can cry all day long, oh, it's not fair just because I took the lobbyist money and voted against the people and voted against the Democratic policies, you're putting me on a list. God damn right we are. That's right. And then they're going to say, yeah, it doesn't matter, you can't win without money. Oh yeah? How did I get here? How did AOC get here? How did Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, how did they get here? When we started Justice Democrats, so for some of you who don't know, I co-founded this group, Justice Democrats. The four folks I just named are in that group. Also, Ro Khanna, Pramila Jayapal, Rahul Gurhalwa, these amazing fighters and progressives. I'll take them over the rest of Congress combined, right? When we started Justice Democrats, we had one litmus test, no corporate PAC money. When there was only 6 people not taking corporate PAC money at the time in Congress, now there are 60. What happened? I thought it was impossible. All of a sudden, if you try, you win. If you win, you change the world. Okay? So it is possible, and I'm telling you right now, I'm making you a promise, and I'm going to deliver on it. We're going to pass Medicare for All.
Woo!
They think that's the hardest to pass. They're totally wrong. It's actually the easiest to pass. So, right, the reason we're not passing it now is because we're not trying, right? So AOC finally said it. Honestly, I've been asking everybody, all the progressives in Congress and the ones running for president, to say it. And finally she did it. She's like, we're not even going to have a vote. I know that, but you guys don't know that. Nobody in the public knows that. The media doesn't talk about it. They're not even going to vote on it. Forget winning the vote. They're not even going to vote. Not on my watch. Trust me, we're voting. Okay? So when I get in there, I'm going to do a speech saying, didn't all of you Democrats run on health care? Didn't you tell everyone in the media that that was your number one issue? You did, didn't you? Every single one of you. Whether you're progressive or you're conservative, all the Democrats ran on health care. Hey, every reporter, I'm going to come on your show and ask you, did they not run on health care? And didn't they say they want, that health care is a right? They love to say that, right? Health care is a right. Okay, great. That means everyone should have health care, right? There's no question about that. If it's a right, like freedom of speech, does that mean 45,000 people randomly shouldn't get freedom of speech? No, it's a right. Everybody gets freedom of speech. Healthcare is a right. Everyone gets healthcare. What is the only proposal that guarantees everybody gets healthcare? Medicare for all. Under public option, you still have to pay co-pays, premiums, deductibles, $12,000 a year, etc. So we are right, and so I'm going to force the Democratic Party to vote on it. Now you want to vote, they say, oh Jay, you're going to endanger your beloved colleagues. First of all, they're not my beloved colleagues, okay? My beloved colleagues are you guys. Okay, my only job is to represent you. And second of all, wait, why is it hard? Well, you're going to put them in a tough spot. Wait, it's Medicare for All, super popular among Democrats. It ranks at 81%. So why would that put them in a tough spot? It's not going to hurt their chances at all. In fact, it's above 50% for the whole country, even after the barrage of propaganda against it, right? Well, what they don't tell you is, the unspoken part is, it's a tough spot because then they're going to have to choose between their voters and their donors. Guess what? I want them in that tough spot. Go ahead, make a choice. And then when you make your choice, we make our choice. That's how democracy works. Oh, let us do it, guys. This is it. The 25th district is everything. Because now, if I don't win, here's what they say. Ha ha. We told you, progressives, sit back down. Don't ever have hope. Money will crush everything in its path. The Democratic Party establishment will crush everything in its path. We told you, lose all hope, go back home. Then you'll have someone here, for incumbents are very, very, very hard to beat. They get millions of dollars put into that machine for them. The corporate PACs take in even more when you're an incumbent. For 20, 30 years, the antelope value will be ignored. For 20, 30 years, there'll be somebody voting for no change at all. At the bottom of the totem pole, taking orders from Democratic leadership, and hope is gone. Okay, so those are the stakes. Either we ignite a fire throughout the country, and what you do here impacts everything, or they get to go, told you. Everybody sit back down and know your role. Our role is to lead the government. That is what we do in a democracy. So I need you guys and I need you guys. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. So I'll leave you on this note. It's March 3rd. It's election night. And I'm back probably in here or wherever we do the office that day, right? And this place is full because we're excited, right? Hundreds and hundreds of people have volunteered already here, maybe up into the thousands now, right? And people have poured in. And there's a bunch of important races that day. At that point, we'll already know whether Jessica Cisneros has won or lost in Texas. She's running against the worst Democrat in the country. Cuellar voted with Trump 70% of the time. He takes Koch brother money. He is a Republican through and through. And the Democratic Party leadership says, we love that guy. And they're trying to defeat Jessica right now. They're like, how dare you? He voted with Trump more than Jeff Van Drew did. Jeff Van Drew then turned around and said, oh, I've been a Republican all along, you idiots. And the Democratic leadership has given me all this money and all this help to vote with Trump. Ha ha! And then he, if you saw, he went to the White House and he bent a knee in front of Trump and said, I will always serve you. Cuellar votes with Trump more than Jeff Van Drew did. So does Lipinski in Illinois. And what does Nancy Pelosi say? And Hoyer say? They say, yes! Cuellar Lipinski. Lipinski's anti-choice. He would take women's freedoms away. And they're supporting him over Marie Newman. That shows you they don't give a damn about you. They don't care about ideas. They don't care about policy. All they care about is greed, greed, greed. So on that night, either Jessica will have won, by the way, justicedemocrats.com/Jessica to support her, okay? Or she will have lost, and Cuellar goes back in, and they go, ha ha, now all these Democrats keep taking money from the Koch brothers and keep voting with Trump. Pelosi wins, Hoyer wins, Cuellar wins. Okay. Number 2, did Bernie win? If he won, it's over. Holy cow, we're going to have a progressive president.
Let us whisper a dream.
Oh my God. We have been whispering of that dream now for 4 years, okay? And you want to see heads explode. I mean, my God. Okay. Or he loses, back into the wilderness, okay? And then we're in here. My election's the last one. It's California, okay? California comes in pretty late. The results usually do. And if I lose, and Jessica lost and Bernie lost, they say it's over. Progressives tried, and they just couldn't do it. It's over. I don't know how long it takes to recover from that. I mean, minimum 4 years, and Bernie's not going to run again, right? So minimum 4 years, but it might be 20. On the other hand, what if we all win?
Woo! Woo!
If we all win, like an army, okay, we're going to rush out. Then we have the presumptive nominee. We have the Justice Democrats. And if Jessica wins the primary, it's over. That's a very, very, very blue district. No Republican has a chance. She's going to Congress, okay? So we got an 8th Justice Democrat and more on the way. Mike Siegel, by the way, is a great progressive in Texas. You should also vote for him. If Mike Siegel wins that night, oh my God, now we got 9, okay? And then if I win, this district, they think it's purple, it's actually blue. Voted for Hillary Clinton by 7 points. We're not going to lose it to a monster like Steve Knight or Mike Garcia. There's no chance, especially if I'm in the runoff. I'm going to beat him with a 2x4, proverbial. Okay, so there's no chance, right? So now I'm going to Congress. That's 10 of us. And that's just the beginning of the primaries, okay? Then you've got all the other states going for congressional primaries. Oh my God, we're taking over the country. And we've got the Democratic Party back. On the night that Trump won, I wasn't sad, I was mad. And I said, we're going to pull up our pirate ship of progressives next to the aircraft carrier that is the Democratic Party. It's filled with weakness. So they're so weak, they lost 1,000 seats to Republicans across the country. And then they lost to Donald Trump. Oh my God. How could you lose to Trump? I mean, forget what a monster he is. He's so stupid. You take that to your grave, right? I mean, Democratic Party establishment lost to Donald Trump, right? Unbelievable incompetence. Okay, the upside of that is, the minute we board the aircraft carrier, okay, we got to get, so when they're vicious in fighting against progressives, they do it to Bernie, they do it to me, right? They've done all sorts of vicious things, right? And they're super soft on Republicans, but it doesn't matter. In their core, they're weak, okay? Once we're on board the aircraft carrier, we're going to take it. I guarantee you we take it. And by the way, there's, oh my God, that sounds hostile, right? No, it's our party. It's our party. We're the Democratic wing of the Democratic Party. Okay, we're the ones that care about ideas and policies. We're the ones that are going to get health care for everyone, higher wages for everyone. We're going to go save the planet. We're going to create higher paying jobs, especially here in the Antelope Valley, solar energy, wind energy. We're going to do it all. They're saying, no, we're the lobbyist wing of the Democratic Party. Well, of course we're going to take it over. What do you want? There's only 2 choices, guys. So all of you here, all of you out there, there's only 2 choices. One is we fight back We take over the aircraft carrier, we take over our party, and we regain our democracy. The second choice is surrender. Those are your two choices. I'm not in the surrender business. I'm in the fight back business, and I'm in the winning business. So thank you for coming out here and being with me on this. I love you. Let's go fight together, win together.